Ken Barron. I'm with the National Association of Black and White Men Together. Today's topic is Stay Guarded Against Homophobia. The acceptance of gay people in the United States has peaked around 2020, but has sharply reversed since then, which was kind of counterintuitive to me and a surprise. Americans' bias against gay people did indeed decline faster than other biases ever tracked in social service. And that's until 2020. But research led by Professor Charles Worth which was published in 2020, detail a decline of acceptance of gay folks. And they did 7.1 million responses from Americans collected between 2007 to 2020. The researchers tracked both explicit bias and implicit bias, and a forecasting model went on to suggest that at that pace, anti gay biases could hit zero as early as 2022. But the research team, were analyzing new data showing that anti gay bias has begun to rise. The analysis of an additional 2.5 million responses from Americans collected from the beginning of 2021 through 2024 revealed that progress had not only stalled, it had reversed. In just 4 years, anti gay bias rose by around 10%. Increases also appeared in bias towards Black, darker skinned, older, disabled, and overweight people, but not quite as starkly. Just as bias against gay people fell especially steeply before 2020, it has surged particularly sharply since. These trends were distinctly robust amongst the youngest Americans, those under 25. This group increased its animus against marginalized groups in general and gay people in particular at a faster rate than older Americans did. And although anti gay bias has risen faster amongst conservatives, it also has risen amongst liberals. What explains this decline in tolerance? Evidence suggests that we can rule out two common hypotheses. First, is that the anti gay backlash is a kind of a side effect or spillover of the backlash against the movement for transgender rights. But if that was so, you would expect increases in anti trans bias to be meaningful, correlated with subsequent increases in anti gay biases. And that research does not show this. The second hypothesis is that the anti gay backlash reflects the rise in panic about sexual grooming, the notion that gay adults are recruiting or influencing children to become gay. But the research shows no evidence of spikes in grooming discord measured through Google searches that are meaningfully correlated with subsequent spikes in anti gay bias. The first idea is social instability. Starting around 220, the United States experienced a sustained disruption consisting of the COVID pandemic, economic strain, and the intensifying political conflict, each of which has been linked to heightened intergroup hostility and scapegoating. This would explain the overall rise in bias against marginalized groups in general. The second factor, which would explain the rise, specifically in anti gay bias, is the anti establishment sentiment. The sustained social disruption since 2020 has fueled resentment and a loss of confidence in institutions perceived to have failed governments, corporation, the broader establishment. So by 2020, support for gay and lesbians equality has become an establishment position. Corporate America, for example, has demonstrated a concrete commitment to gay rights, with companies donating hundreds and thousands of dollars for pride celebrations and other efforts at gay and lesbian inclusion. Gay and lesbian people newly woven into the fabric of mainstream society, may have been collateral damage in a broader revolt against a system that felt broken, especially amongst younger generations grappling with most intensity with uncertainty about their future. The recent rise of anti-gay biases suggests that the public attitudes and media representation are no longer moving in lockstep. An example of this is the exuberance surrounding the movie Heated Rivalry. By all means, celebrate our media success, but stay vigilant against homophobia. Thank you for listening. This is Ken Barrett asking you to subscribe, to like, and to comment on our Substack and other platforms, including Facebook and Instagram. Our main website is nabwmt.org, on which you can find out more information about fighting racism and homophobia. We are having a convention next August in Las Vegas. Come and check that out. And again, that's at the same website. Thank you so much for listening. Ken Barrett at the National Association of Black and White Men Together.